This episode is brought to you by FanRoll, your source for premium gaming dice. Get 10% off dice and dice accessories at fanrolldice.com with our code TRIALS10. They have a huge selection of metal, resin, and even a couple of other novelty dice. So go check that out and get 10% off your order with code TRIALS10. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 203 of Trials and Trebuchets. I'm your dungeon master, stuck here in perpetual agony, and my name is Luke. Joining me are my players, whose names are as follows.
Hi there, my name is Ben. Yep, I'm still here.
Hi Ben, it's me Carla, and I play the level 11 Tiefling Roguelock, Integrity Idle Berry. Bye bye friend. Bye bye wallaby. Hello misery. I think I'm gonna cry. Bye bye friend. Bye bye wallaby. Hello Celty. I feel like you could save a guy.
Hi, Carla. I'm Sarah, and I play Mira Marchand, the level 11 half-elf bard. I'm Miss Winsler. That's my intro. I'm Miss Winsler Wallaby.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I play the level 11 human sorceress Saranep Cinderman. I also miss Winsler. Thank you for coming to the after reception of the funeral we had in the last episode. There's tea.
But I'm right here.
Sometimes I still think I can hear his voice.
Now we bury him under the tree near Ma and Pa's house.
Yes.
Yes.
And last time on Trials and Trebuchets, the students mourned the death of their friend, Winsler Wallaby. And that's the end of the recap.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's so funny because after we finished recording, Luke goes, "We need to take a break so I can write the recap." And then he disappeared
fuck.
for 4 hours.
We find ourselves at Wildcliff, School of the Arcane, on a crisp Monday morning in spring. The 8th day of spring, the second Monday of the semester. There's no classes to be had. They assembled yesterday to discuss the death of Bailey Blue and Winsler Wallaby, sent you all into a evening and afternoon of mourning your friend, after which you went to your respective dormitories and struggled and slept. Today, where would the three of you, where would the,
It's habit.
Where would the three of you, Integrity, Mira, Saranep, like to come together and create some sort of makeshift plan? What wonderful locale is the backdrop to this conversation?
We could go to our study room.
Oh, in the chapel.
Oh my
shit!
gosh.
The old
The study
chapel?
room?
The study room in the chapel? The old chapel?
We decorated it, and there's gummy bats and everything.
Oh,
Williard's
yeah.
still hanging out there to this day.
The three of you arrive at differing times in the morning, depending on when you felt like getting up and when you were able to pull yourself out of bed. You arrive at an old stone chapel tucked away in the cavern of Wildcliff. You assemble on the second floor in a small room. Bookshelves line one of the walls. There's a big desk all pushed together for you guys to gather around and do your work at. And then the far wall in this small room is a full glass window looking off into some subterranean cavern in the mountain. We see the three of you in the morning gathered here. There's dust coating everything because you've not been here in weeks, obviously. How does the conversation go?
Oh, good morning.
Hey,
Hey.
so I guess this is the part where we plan.
As always.
Yeah, as always. So Isithil, I mean, we might have a chance of getting there through the concourse. I imagine a lot of people are leaving the campus right now, right? Going home, things like that. That might maybe give us an opportunity to use a teleportation circle.
I think that could work, definitely. And if that doesn't work, we can probably find a different way. to get there, but that's the easiest.
Yeah.
Have you thought of what we can bargain for?
I mean, I know at one point she talked about my fingernails.
But that's not on par with a soul.
No.
A soul. I imagine a soul has to be like the pinnacle of. I don't think any body parts kind of compare to that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only thing I've ever really heard her talk about. I guess that's why that was the first thing that came to mind.
I mean, what if we find a soul and offer an entire soul to her?
Where would we...
What do you mean?
I don't know. There might be a soul in this world that is not particularly enjoying chilling, just wandering the world, and maybe wants to be trapped somewhere for the rest of their lives.
Integrity Williard is like right over there. Like it's kind of insensitive to like talk about him so.
There's a chill to the air.
Not because there's a ghost or anything.
Just
I
drafty.
didn't mean Williard. I assume that there's like a lot more souls other than Williard.
I mean, there was the whole Spire Nebulosis. The soul thing came. There might actually still be wandering souls who actually
Loitering spools, yeah.
who like want something like that. I imagine that, I don't know. Does Celti keep the souls?
What if
like,
we just
nice?
what if we just like stole it back instead of trying to make a deal with her? I don't really want to go on some quest chasing souls down. I don't even know how that works or if anyone would want to go willingly. But what if we just, I don't know, found some way to, I mean, you can turn us invisible, right, Serenep? Just break into her house and just, she put it in that teapot, right? I mean, we saw it. What if we just took it back?
While I understand that idea, I would like to point to Exhibit A, which was Ferdinand's relationship with Celti, that whole situation with their old coven or whatever. Like, Celti got us to go after her. It would be, I imagine that if we do something to, make her upset, like take the soul that she got in a bargain, that she would probably just send other people after us to then kill us.
I guess I just think Winsler's worth making an enemy for.
If we're going to do that, I don't want all of us to be on her bad side, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, losing Winsler was hard, but like losing you guys, like losing anyone else as a group, like, I don't know, we would have to really plan out a way that we can do this.
I mean, the other option is finding the 17th of the soul.
Which we don't really know exactly where. Did Winslow ever really talk about, like, what religion he was a part? Maybe that...
He never mentioned a fucking lick.
Yeah.
Nope.
I
You
mean,
all immediately know Winsler never once mentioned a single deity with his living breath.
I mean, there is one... I mean, there would be a couple of people who know if Winsler ever grew up with a certain religion, but I mean...
But, I mean, people... That doesn't automatically mean they would go to that plane, right? Because we saw a whole bunch of them back in Ib when we did that vision. I mean, he could be on any one of them. Other than going to all of the planes and looking, I don't...
I mean, I would say Scribe, but you have to be on the same plane to actually see them.
I mean, what if he is in the same plane? What if he's a lost soul, just like Williard?
I mean,
Here?
Serenep like touches the necklace. I'm like, I mean, I can give it a try right now. If he is on this plane, I should be able to.
If you want to try that,
I mean, at least takes one out of the list of different planes.
Dead body security camp.
do you think maybe Celti would know where the rest of his soul is if she has some way of knowing that? Because, like, even if we're not able to just ask her. I mean, I have spells that can just make people tell us stuff or to read people's minds. That's something worth considering too.
Okay. That's a smart idea too. So in that case, how about I'll hold off on scrying. We go with the idea going to Celti, asking about it. You read her mind, as Sereneth is saying it, does not sound convinced that this would actually work.
Mhm.
But talk to her, you read her mind. Cause yeah, like the soul is still part of Winsler. Maybe it's trying, maybe it you can sense where it's supposed to go. And
Yeah, maybe we go in and I know that you don't want to anger Celty, which I get. So we go in, we say something like, "Hey, Celty, you wanted our fingernails, right? I will trade that 17th of Winsler's soul back for the fingernails." She'll say no, but that'll give us an opportunity to, while one of us says that, one of us can try to read through her thoughts. We can try to start up a conversation about, oh, by the way, where are the other 16ths? Where would we find them? And maybe we can kind of case the joint in the meantime, see if there's any entry points if she refuses, if she doesn't want to work with us, that could maybe give us the opportunity to figure out where she's keeping Winsler's soul in there.
okay, so that's
I mean,
3 different jobs, 3 different people.
Uh-huh.
I don't really have maybe I can ask about different, I don't know. Serenith looks at her like, maybe like her hand, like the scales on her hand kind of thing. Like, I don't know what she would be interested in if I don't really have my nails anymore, but like you can read her mind, and then Integrity can case the joint.
you know, I think that if I was Celty, my needs change. So maybe, perhaps, she might ask for something else. So I think we need to be ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, maybe hair?
my hair.
No, not your. I'm saying that was something like, because like wasn't like Windsor said at one point like she got some of his hair or something, like maybe that might be something that she's interested in. Maybe she wants to take.
Worth considering. And if she says yes, perfect. And if she says no, this isn't enough, it's not equivalent to a soul, at least we've gotten the opportunity to get into her house, look around, maybe read her mind as to where the rest of Winsler's soul is, and that gives us a big leg up.
Honestly, this is the best idea that we have right now.
It's a great idea.
Okay.
It's a wonderful
this-
idea.
Yeah, I think this is a good idea.
Wait, did you hear that?
What the heck? Looks down at the teapot on like the bookshelf, like what?
So, you guys spend the better part of half an hour concocting some sort of plan, prepping your pseudo heist of Celty's home and store in the plain of Isithil. Before the sun is high in the sky, the 3 of you can leave the chapel, the old chapel, of course, and make your ways to, if I'm to understand the plan correctly, you would like to use that fun little apparatus to hop on over to the plain of Isithil, the same one that you guys always use, the one that Winsler broke in and used that one time, and it got moved, if I'm not mistaken. Yes? Is that the plan here?
I mean, the other option is the door.
The other option is the door. Well, I can assure you the concourse, which is connected to faculty's homes, is not connected to the plane of Isithil. Just for your awareness of how that works.
I meant the door underground.
Oh,
The
wonderful
door.
relic of Winsler Wallaby, the seed door, you mean?
Yeah, like I know yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, do you guys want to try to somehow break into the planar research department, or is this just going to be a run down to that door in the undercampus and pop on through?
I mean, if the door in the undercampus is quite easy to...
Just right there.
Yeah, we may as well. I forgot that existed, to be totally honest. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Like we're walking towards the proper building to get through. I look over, I see the tree, and I'm like, wait a second, guys, I think we have a better solution than breaking into something.
Absolutely. You walk up a set of stairs. You find yourselves next to the greenhouses. There's a massive tree here, silver leaves, purple bark. It seems to be growing quickly like it's almost growing to the point where it is beyond the scope of this small patch of dirt that it was originally planted in, this sweetling, and it is immense in scale, looming large over the greenhouses themselves. All it's taking is one terrible storm to knock that thing over, and it will crack through those glass greenhouses easily. But you can approach a hummingbird statue. You can perform the ancient rites and rituals of this hummingbird statue and descend in a stone elevator down into a cramped and very bad smelling hallway. There's char marks still on the walls here from yesteryear. You can make your way forwards and to the left into a long brick room. To your left, as soon as you enter, there's a large pile of unmarked stone that used to make up the Geeds on campus, still inanimate. You can walk to the end of this room where there's a workshop where Serenup, you remember finding Ira Alaro hiding underneath the tables here. Memories of something you did with Winsler so long ago. And there you see standing a beautiful arched door off to a wonderful world of paper adventure. Serenup leading the way. You can open this door. All of you can pop on through. You feel your ears pop strongly. You find yourself in a desolate world of paper. There is a orange sun in the sky. The black sky. There's these big blocks of paper, like big cubes, city blocks almost. So much of this place, as you enter, almost a year after you first came here, so much of this place is burnt. After your last visit to this small pocket plane, you do not see hide nor hair of any of the little impish creatures who constructed these elaborate sets. And you can quickly, in this hushed world, make your way to the proper door leading to the plane of Isithil. You open it, your ears pop once more, and you are immediately caught off guard by how bright the colors you see are. The water crystal clear and this brilliant blue color. The sky, a beautiful mix of pinks and yellows and blues. All the trees around you swaying and cracking into each other. These beautiful purple and green bark. These silver and pink and yellow leaves. Around you, you see life continuing. You see Isithil in a state of restoration after your last visit here. There's a wonderful warmth on the air that is separate from the material plane, your home. It makes you feel, just for a moment, before all the memories creep back in, just for a moment, you feel welcomed and a small amount. And then again, the memories of Isithil creep back to the forefront of your brain. You find yourselves in a large clearing. There is a crescent lake of bright blue, like aquamarine water, and a massive tree with little Easter baskets, wicker baskets hanging in its eaves. You see a desolate place. You see a small, you must be this tall to enter, a wooden thing set up next to this door, and just generally the thoroughfare through the door looks well trodden, as if hundreds of people have walked through here as some sort of amusement kind of thing. All three of your eyes can see in the sky a long draconic creature, serpentine, with these big antlers, and the eldest of Isithil's creations, Shinpem, dancing high in the sky, waves of magic crashing off of its giant form all the way up there. The world around you is very alive, and your eyes are drawn immediately to Celti's wiggling purple house in that aquamarine lake, exactly where you expected it to be. The three of you can steel yourselves and walk hastily over to the small wash basin tub that is connected by rope, pull yourselves over to the deck, as it were, and stand before her door. Who would like to knock?
Isn't the tradition you knock 3 times?
Oh, yes. Good memory.
So who would like to knock
I
and
can
say
knock.
hi to Celti? Wonderful,
Oh,
Integrity
boy.
Eye Idleberry. You knock once, twice, thrice. You hear a loud click of the door. It pops a little bit ajar as it opens for you, and you hear a lovely voice within call out and say, "Welcome! Why don't you come in, girls?
How do you know it was us?
Get in out of the horrible air out there."
Okay. Sereneth will step into the cottage.
Wonderful.
Mira will also step in.
Of course, you take a deep breath and step into Celti's store and home. You see the conical home of Celti, The colors are bright blue and red and nothing in between. There's that loft space connected by a spiral staircase where she stores all her things up above. A boiling pot sits on the stove. There's a big cauldron in the middle of the room. You see Celti walking around, very appraising of you all as you enter. You see this blue-skinned, wrinkly old woman, 3 feet tall, this white hair, these red goggles pulled over her eyes, which as you do walk in, she pulls up and places on her forehead. She puts her fingers together, her long talon-like fingernails clicking with delight as she smiles at the 3 of you. And there's another thing you see in the room, something that you've never seen at Celti's home before. You see over at that stove, at that boiling pot, there's a shadow of a thing, a specter of something, standing about 2 feet and 11 inches tall, some unmistakably curly hair to it. You see a spectral, shadowy, magical apparition tending to the stove, stirring that boiling pot. It seems to be some shadowy form of Winsler Wallaby.
Oh my god.
Celti clicks her fingernails with delight and will say, "Girls, I didn't expect you so soon after I saw you. I'm glad to know you got out of that horrible situation with that ugly brain, however. I don't have anything really for sale right now. I've been kind of getting all the things in order after my wonderful... should I introduce you to my wonderful servant? This is my wonderful servant. What should I call you to others? Arthur. This is Arthur. It's not your friend, I swear to you. It looks exactly like him. I used the hair, a little bit of the soul. We conjured a little simulacrum to help me around. I'm an old woman. I need the help around the store. And it's nice to have some company." And she looks at him for a second and goes, "Though he doesn't really speak. He can't do that. But that's besides things." She walks up to you and grabs at your hands, Mira, like especially your like brassy prosthetic. She'll go, "Wow, so gorgeous! What great work! How?" And she grabs it, clasping it greatly, like a little grandma looking up at you. She goes, "How can I help you this afternoon? Do you need to? I can put the tea on if you'd like, or rather, Arthur can put the tea on for you."
Actually, we were sort of here to talk about well, we were just really curious if there was any
discussion.
Yeah.
We can have a discussion. Well, Arthur, put the tea on. And you see this spectral, shadowy form of a gnome walk over to a cupboard, take out a little teapot. The exact teapot that you are familiar with. He walks over to the stove, moves this boiling pot to the side, and will place the teapot directly onto the burning fire. And then he will stand there watching it for some time. Celti walks over to her couch and gestures with her little curled up fingers to follow her. And she'll say, come. We can talk. We can relax. I don't have anything to sell today. I'm not in any rush. I'm enjoying life for once in a while. Things have been going well for me. Are they going well for the 3 of you? How are you doing? You look so underfed. Are you doing well? I don't have any... Arthur... We don't have any food. You didn't make any food yet. I can't assist you with that, though. I've been so dreadfully busy getting them all conjured and built up. What did you want to talk about?
Well, one of the things we were really curious about,
Sit down first, please. It's rude to talk to me when you're standing.
Mira will sit.
Mira will sit on a small stool. Your knees come up. You feel like such a child right now. You're sitting on like a tiny little piddly stool. Celti is sitting on the couch, slightly higher than you now that everyone's sitting down. She has a leg crossed and she leans in forwards and she goes, "What do you want from me, dear?"
Well, a few things. For one, we were kind of curious if well, our friend Winsler, as you know, there was an attack. We were wondering if you knew where the other 16/17ths of his soul might have gone. We figured you might know better than anybody else.
Oh, just because I have 1/17th, you think I kept track of the rest of it? How greedy do you think I am?
And I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts, and I'm going to use my Subtle Spell feature.
Okay.
So that there is no visual sign that I'm doing this, and I'm not probing deeper at the moment, so no save is required. but I will, for the duration of the spell, which is up to 1 minute, learn her surface thoughts, whatever is most on her mind at the moment.
You get over an overwhelming feeling that crowds your mind of just amusement, just being so delighted that the three of you are here, both because she values your company and also she really wants to put the claws in, you know? She'll continue to say, oh, how greedy do you think I am? Can you believe your friend here, girls? You came all this way just to ask about the 16th, all the parts I don't have? Mira, there's an overwhelming feeling that she's toying around with you, that she's playing with you, wasting your time.
Yeah. But do you?
If I spent all my time keeping track of all the souls I didn't have, what would I do? I would be an old woman with nothing to my name.
None of that's a no, though. Do you know?
None of that's a no.
Does she know?
How curious is this young woman? Why are you asking after it? Mira, her mind settles. You just see a very picture-perfect view of your own face just projecting back at you as she just focuses on exactly what she is seeing in front of her. She's no stranger to these kinds of things. She has a mind that's very sharp. Why are you asking after it? You realize that I still have my share, and without it, you won't be able to do anything, yes?
Well,
I mean, of course, unless you wanted to rupture it further and split it between as many people as you wanted, of course, you could use a food if you wanted, paying off any sort of people waiting off in the eaves. Her mind jumps to things like loud, Mira.
I'm considering a risky, mostly lie here as in response.
Okay, in the meantime, while you think this over, Serenep, is there something you would like to do right now?
well, I mean, the original plan was Serenep was going to offer,
Yes.
so she's going to sit
Of
up and be like,
course.
well, that's part of the reason we want to bring Winsler back together, and you...
Arthur, listen to them! Oh my goodness! You want to bring him back together.
The
So you
parts
want
of him,
my
the parts that don't belong to you, the other, 16 17ths, we're curious where it might be. We know that you need all 17 17ths for a whole person, but we still want the parts of his soul that are away to be safe and taken care of.
And we thought that since you are basically the only person that we know who is very good with these planner stuff and just knowing where everything is and have connections to a bunch of people because you're so special and you're so, like you just have so many connections. People love you.
Mira, her mind's going through the mental Rolodex. She's thinking of all the people. Who could I set these people up to work with right now? Who could help these people out? Who could I set up with them to get what I want out of this engagement right now? Just a Rolodex of faces and names that you do not know,
Interesting.
Mira. Just genuinely like 45 people she runs through in the matter of like 10 seconds. She'll go, so you came to me looking for information on where the rest of your friend's soul is, so you can go scoop that all up, or take care of it, however you want to say it. Is that right? That's the whole story?
What do you want in exchange for that information? You were pretty big on fingernails last time, if I remember correctly, and
We're long past the time for fingernails and hair. Arthur over there was all I needed that for. Now I have the help I need. I don't need more than one helper. Imagine how crowded the house would be.
Well,
At this moment, the shadowy figure, it takes the little kettle off of the stove and will walk over to you guys. There's a table and there's 4 glasses set out. This shadowy figure begins to pour from this teapot where you know Winsler's soul to be kept, this purple tea. It smells
Like Winsler?
faintly of mud.
Winsler.
It smells, it smells like the country, you know? And this thing will pour 4 cups and then return the kettle to the stove. Not the burner, not the burning section, just putting it on there. And then it will stand in the corner waiting for more instructions. As it pours the tea, Stealthy will reach out and grab her respective cup, put it to her lips, and will say, We're well past the time for fingernails and hair, girls. I have within me the strength of, oh, so many other witches. I have within me the souls of so many people. Not that I'm going to do anything horrible or evil with them. It's just nice to have. It fills me with such a warm, bubbly feeling inside. If you want the information on where the rest of his soul is, we're going to be dealing in things of family members, names, souls, anything of the sort.
Okay, so she does know it. Okay, I'm going to probe deeper with my detect thoughts, please. She will know. She will know that I am doing this. That is the risk
Yes.
here.
Boy.
Absolutely. Mira, everything is there. She 100% knows, and
All
she's
right.
just waiting for you guys to make an offer.
She has to make a wisdom save.
Wonderful.
Now, what are you doing?
Wisdom?
It feels like
Yeah.
there's a fly flying next to my ear. What is this?
How is a 17? I believe that does not succeed.
It would have, except I have the Spellweave Liar from Delnus, which raises the DC to a 19. It does not succeed.
Oh.
Wonderful. So, Mira Marchand, you plunge deeper. What is this like as you do this? What does Mira feel like as she plunges deeper, right?
I imagine, because Celty pictured her own thoughts as, like, scrolling through, like, a Rolodex of sorts.
Yes.
I almost imagine that there's this visual of, like, Mira getting access to all of this, like, trying to thumb through all of this information, trying to pull out the right pieces. And I imagine it's a very... Mira has had this spell cast on her. I imagine it's a very invasive feeling. Like...
Yes.
Suddenly there's not enough skin for your body, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like there's so much in here, like two people looking through the thoughts of one.
Absolutely. Mira, you are scrubbing through the files, as it were, and as she goes, family members, names, souls themselves, that kind of thing. And then she'll stop dead in her tracks as you just like probe in, and she'll stare right at you. Mira, you look through a bunch of the names that are listed on here. They mean nothing to you. They're like not even real names. It feels like the faces are people who look otherworldly to you, and you push through all of that with your mental probing to the original thought. Where is Winsler Wallaby's soul? The 16th, 17th, correct?
Yes.
You reach the information as Celty recoils slightly, a look of disgust, and Mira, the information pops into your brain. The betting house of the gods, duplicity, in the plane of Lem.
The betting house of the gods' duplicity. To write that.
Do you want to say that out loud?
No,
Do you
no, I
say
just
that out loud, or
needed
just repeating it.
I needed to say it out loud so I could write this down in my notes because that's a long ass
The
time.
betting house of the gods, comma, duplicity.
Serenep's not knowing that has just happened specifically.
Yes.
Is still trying to distract Celty. So she asked the question, what exactly does getting the names
Shush.
do?
You get out of my head right now.
Betting house of the gods' duplicity. Thank you, Celty, and I will end the spell.
You end the spell. She uncrosses her leg. She goes, you know where it is. You don't know what you're getting into, though. I guarantee you that.
No, you're right. We don't.
Even if you get the other 16 parts, you're still missing mine. I would drink the tea if I were you before it gets cold. She'll sip from hers. It's this purple, translucent liquid. It smells very much of the countryside.
Maybe so, but we can't give up on our friend.
Very well. I wouldn't blame you, right? No one gives someone a hard time of, letting friends die and so forth. It's not anyone's fault,
Does it not affect you that your best customer is gone?
Make a persuasion check.
Ooh.
That's a very
And
good point.
Do
Integrity.
any of you want to drink this little purple tea?
I got a 17 plus 6.
She will not.
Wow.
She'll scratch the tip of her nose, drink the tea deeply. There's a silence. You only hear like the bubbling of like liquid as this creature, Arthur, puts the pot back on the stove and is just standing there stirring it. It smells very much of like, it just smells toxic and acrid to your nose. Celty leans back in the chair. She goes, he was my best customer. It is a shame, We got on so well. He really got me. Do you understand? He got what I was doing here. In another life, I think we could have been good business partners.
Well, we're gonna get those 16 17ths back.
Yes.
And maybe you want to keep your 17th, but maybe it benefits you more for that relationship to continue if we can show you we have everything else we need.
So,
I mean, Winsler made a whole golem. I bet you could, if you kept dealing with him, I bet you could have much more than just a spectral assistant.
Winsler did not do that alone. He did that with my help. You understand that, right?
Yes.
He did not get that
Well,
chair
that's
named.
what I
I
mean.
got that for him.
That's what I mean. You guys work well together. You might get
That was the
better
most
than just
dangerous-
an assistant.
That was the most dangerous thing I'd ever done for anyone.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Just something to think about.
It does speak well to the relationship. Sure, you're right. It speaks to the relationship. So regardless, you'll be going after it, I assume. Into the plane of Lem.
Into the plane of Lem.
She looks annoyed, away, like, contemptuous. Mira, she's particularly just glaring at you. And
That's
she goes,
fair.
Not often do people come into my home, my shop, and cast spells on me, harass me, an old woman done nothing wrong in the world. Just a shopkeeper. Not often do they come in and harass me for things. You already have your information. What more do you need? You don't want my 17th of the soul back, do you? Or is that what we're here to discuss now?
No, we're not here to
You already
discuss
know.
that now.
You already know where the rest of it is.
That's our
But
priority.
do you want my part? I'm fond of it, but for the right price, I'd be willing to give it up.
What sort of price?
Names, family members, souls. That's the kind of things we're dealing in.
What do you mean by names and family members?
Ooh.
She, squints at you for a second. She goes, so family members are people who are born, who you're related to.
No, I understand that. But do you
You
mean...
would say to me, for instance, my younger brother, I give him to you, and I would go to his room, and I would snatch him.
That's
and
what happened to Paul.
What do you mean what? Taking his name, what is that?
Tell me the name is less invasive, obviously. I would show up, I would say, what's your name? They would say, this is my name. And I would say, thank you so much. And they would never have a name again. It would be erased from time, only for me.
Good to
That's
know.
worth, that is, for a name is not worth a soul, to be clear. Not even a 17th.
Does
You have to give up a hefty amount.
Does the subject of a name have to be willing? Like, could we just name, I don't know, that one guy in the Piper's Fifth? Not just as an example, obviously. I'm not trying to, that's just an example. And you could just do that?
You see, as you say, just as an example, you see her pull over like a little piece of paper on the side table and just start writing down. She goes, just an example.
I mean,
maybe.
What about two names?
Just so you're aware, Mira Marchand. His name's Dickley.
Oh my gosh, that's his actual name.
So, one name on the table. Not a very promising bargain.
What if the names are of people who potentially have a lot of power? Or,
Ooh.
That's a messy one. Because if I just go taking those names, then does the power rest on me? Where does the power go? How do you refer to someone without a name to call them by? It could get horribly messy. Who did you have in mind?
Does the closeness of the relationship...
Who did you have in mind?
I look over to the other two, I look back and I say, my parents?
And their names for me, dear? There's so many parents in the world. It would save me an hour or two.
It would be... Sarah's hands are sweating at this point, Bertram and Olivia Cinderman.
Never heard of them. And she leans back as she writes on her little scrap of paper. And you, Miss Integrity, any siblings to give away? A grandma you are not fond of? I would prefer young children, though, because
shit.
No.
it's easier to make new hags out of them.
Unfortunately, I love my entire family.
A shame.
How many names would Winsler be
How many
worth?
names?
1/17.
Winsler Wallaby? Make a persuasion check, Mira Marchand.
Okay.
I mean,
We've given 3 so
he's
far.
pretty mid, so it shouldn't be worth that many names.
12 plus 13, 25, I think. Yeah, 25.
So,
need 25 rounds.
so as Integrity goes, I'm pretty fond of all my family. She goes, I guess not everyone's hateful of their parents. Mira, you step in and say, how many names? She'll put her little quill down and she'll go, we could sit here all day and you can give me as many names as you like. And the moment we say, that's a deal, I'll go and snatch them all up. I think you'd need 15, 16. I
Holy
feel like that's
shit.
worth it. Or you could just give me a sibling, a cousin, a friend even I would take. Or a little bit of your soul. That would be the quickest way to end this bargain.
That means that when we die, that the same thing happens. We become I look over at Arthur. So become
No, that was just like a cherry on top of things. Though, I don't know what I would do with any of your souls. When I met Winsler, little enterprising fellow, it just screamed to me. I hadn't taken a soul in years, and yet it screamed to me. The three of you, two of you are kind of, I don't mean to pass judgment, but you know, I'm sure you can feel it in yourselves. The other one, you are again your parents. I don't quite care for the rest of you. How about 3 names and a favor?
That seems tempting.
I mean, if you're already going to the plane of Lem, what's to stop you from doing a quick errand for me? No one's ever gotten hurt on an errand before.
The last one, but I mean for Winsler, what kind of errand?
For Winsler, what kind of errand? There are things lost in the plane of Lem. Things that I would want. A boy years ago walked through these doors. A little boy. He couldn't have been any older than 6. I sold him a little cube. A cube is diminutive. I sold him a little loaded die. I check in on him every now and again. I don't think he knows that, though. He's been searching for something for quite some time. Something to play tricks on the gods with. A little coin. You flip it, you say someone's name. Who's to say what happens after that? If you got that for me from the plane of Lem, I'd surely count this as a squared off deal.
So you're looking for a coin, not a cube.
No, I gave the die to the boy. The boy's looking for the coin. I watched the boy, he's a grown man now, mind you, to see if he finds it. So I might show up and make a little deal with him. I could tell you where to find him. He might be able to help you find the coin. You take the coin from him, you give it to me. We're all good. How would that sound?
He has a way to get to the plane of Lem, you mean?
I presume so.
Sure, okay.
He must know something.
Well, who is he?
What
Where
is
would
their
we
name?
find him? Yeah.
The name is Boo Bolero.
His name is Boob.
His name is...
Oh, no. It's Boo Blairow.
Oh.
His name is Boo Bolero.
It still
name
sounds
is-
like...
The name's Boo. Or Mr. Bolero, if you're feeling formal.
I like Bublero. So where can we find Bublero?
You gotta put a space between the name. You gotta put a space.
Ben, is this what you meant? Is this what you meant when you said...
Where can you find him? Well, I'd assume on the material plane, at least. Maybe a bit closer to home. Oh, it's just on the tip of my tongue. If someone gave me another name, it would probably remind me. Oh, shucks. It's right there.
I can read thoughts. Please just tell us.
Make a persuasion check. As she smirks at you.
That's a 23.
She giggles to herself and goes, Arthur, the guests are being so cruel to me today. They've not come to trade with me. They've just come to harass an old woman. How cruel and cold the 3 of you are without Winsler. He really is the emotional center for the 3 of you, isn't he?
I agree.
Yep.
I just gave you my parents' name, so yeah.
Oh, don't worry. He's currently in the town of Dry Falls.
Oh.
Never heard of that place.
Oh, you're full of it.
I'm just kidding with you, Salty. I'm just trying to joke around with you, you know?
Yes.
Trying to form a friendship here.
Lighten the mood. Oh, you want to form a friendship with me? Is that true?
Stop.
I'm always looking for young women to take under my wing. You already asked a year ago about blood magic and such. You've been such a great customer as well. I could take you on as a apprentice if you'd like.
You know, I'll continue to keep your offers in mind. I have a
Yes.
notebook that has like everything that I basically want to pursue in this lifetime, and I'll keep
So
that in
short of a
mind.
lifetime it might be, you know? You never know when it ends. That's what you should learn from this.
That's a good point.
I'm sure Winsler didn't wake up that morning thinking he'd kick it. Not to rub salt in the wound, of course. So I'm sorry. Drink your tea. It'll help. It'll help.
I actually do want to try the tea now.
You want to try the tea?
Oh god.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Not the
Anyone else like to?
salty.
We
Would it-
did just go to a meeting about a week ago and get poisoned from drinking their refreshments.
Yeah.
But sure, why not?
Wonderful.
I don't think the rats got here, if that's the concern. I think we're fine. I'm curious.
Salty's never once poisoned something ever. Serenup, you can take a sip of the tea. The other two of you hesitantly can also do so. Again, the smell of countryside fills your nostrils, and as you sip, you feel a warmth in your chest. You feel this very happy, friendly presence around you. You feel filled to the brim with a old friendship almost, as you drink a little bit of Winsler's soul.
Fun.
Just a little bit, not enough to matter. The same feelings that you feel when you like are around Winsler, or that you felt maybe yesterday afternoon when you were reminiscing about your favorite feelings with the guy, that kind of like fills your chests. And Salty will lean back and take a deep swig of her own and say, "It's nice, isn't it? Reminds you of when they were still here." So, go after Boo, find me that coin, tell him nothing of this, to be clear.
Of course.
Return it from me at whatever cost. And that's a deal. How does it sound?
I
I
think
looked to my friends for like, okay, are we all on the same page that like we can accept this deal?
I think that we can definitely do that for you.
She takes this little piece of paper that she's been writing on and will pass it over to you, Mira. Listed there, you see the name of one of the musicians, which you have ceremoniously given up the name of.
Oh, no.
You see Bertram and Olivia Sinderman written there, and you see the twin coins of life and death written there. And she'll say, "Just a quick signature and it'll all be done." She'll pass you her quill.
I think I'm gonna give it to Serenep to sign for two reasons.
Okay.
One being, I'm not really good at writing with this hand, and the other being it's her parents.
parents.
I feel like she should be the one to sign it.
You pass the note over, and Salty sips, like leans back and chuckles a bit to herself and goes, "Cold feet."
Serenep stares at the names of her parents.
Yeah.
She takes another sip of the tea, and that warm feeling that Winsler has provided her, that her family has never given her,
Yeah.
and taking a deep breath, not quite knowing 100% what this properly means for her parents,
Mm-hmm.
she signs it.
You sign it. It's all very mundane feeling. Nothing takes place immediately. You look at your signature down on that piece of paper. You can still read your mom and dad's name, and you can pass that little sheet of parchment back to Celty. She will take it, rip a little piece of it, put it in her pocket, and she'll put her hands on her knees like an old woman and say, "Well, that was so very wonderful. If you'd like, I have nothing else to sell today, so I can walk you out. You can say bye to Arthur if you'd like.
No
That'd
thanks.
be nice."
It's
But he's
kind of
just sprung-
uncomfortable.
He's just sprung into existence. He didn't do anything wrong. He
Serenep
still weird,
waves
though.
slowly.
Serenep waves back.
Yeah. The little shadow waves at you, Serenep, and you can wave back at Mira as you go, "It's weird." And she goes, "Well, it's not your friend. It's different. He'll be here when Winsler comes back, presuming you all succeed. Good luck in the Plain of Lem, by the way. It's a fiendish place. I wouldn't go there if I had the choice." And she'll tap you on the hip, Mira, as she stands up and will open the door for you guys. And Mira, Serenep, you can walk out. Integrity, is there any final thing you'd like to do?
Thank you for the warning. And I'm going to walk away without looking at the shape of Winsler,
Yeah.
trying to just sort of zone out that
That shadow.
that piece. Yeah.
It waves at you and you ignore it soundly. The three of you walk on out and Celty will say, I look forward to seeing you in a little bit, I guess. I hope for your sakes that you all make it out of there. I'll put it that way. And she'll smile greatly, a very grand motherly smile at the three of you, and then slam the door in your faces. The three of you can quietly get back into a little bathtub and pull yourselves to shore. Is there any conversation which transpires between the three of you?
That could have gone a lot worse. How are you feeling, Sereneth?
There are other Cindermans. Some of them might be better than my parents.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Simple. So the three of you pull your ways back to the shore, and if you would like to return to campus, we can do that just so.
I don't think we have any reason to stick around in this plane any longer, especially with the fucking orbs and Faramel.
Yeah,
Maybe you want to stick around, look about.
We're fine.
Everybody loves
detour,
Isabel. You guys don't want to say an Isabel? It's beautiful. It's beautiful
We
this
have
time
no
of year.
negative emotions tied
It's
to this
great.
plane.
It sucks in the winter, though.
There's a warmth in the air. Can all of you make perception checks for me? Just a final thing before you leave.
Oh dear.
There's a squirrel in the tree.
I was about to say, you see Faramel looking around the corner or some shit.
Oh, come on. Not one. Plus
God.
4 or 5.
You don't
Here
see
you
the
go.
bee in the bush.
You are locked
Oh,
in.
okay.
I got 16.
Okay.
8 plus 8.
Ooh, baby, that's a good number. I can't do fuck. What? 17.
Wonderful. Mira, you are of a single mind, a single focus. You march, leading your two friends back towards that wonderful seed door, back to the material plane, back to home, home as they call it. Behind you, Integrity and Sereneth, both of your ears note a cracking and clicking of the trees off in the distance, off to the west. You can both stop for a moment, kind of enchanted for just a second at the strange rhythmic sound coming from those trees. It's almost like a lullaby, right? The rhythm of it. Almost, if you were a little bit more tired, a little bit less focused, it might lull you into some sleep, lull you into, I don't know, a trance or something. But with your wits about you, the two of you can recognize this clicking and clacking, the living forest all around you, before rushing to catch up with Mira and pop through that door. We next see the three of you, probably 5 minutes later, as you ascend from the under campus. It is probably around 11 a.m. in the day now. You arrive back on campus soundly. There seems to be a hustle and bustle. You guys can note that there's a big long lineup coming out of the Hall of Voyages as people have small backpacks of things, duffel bags. You might see some of your fellow classmates who are kind of just in line. It seems that given the lack of classes, a lot of people are leaving for home for the week, almost like a pseudo soft restart of the semester. I'll ask because there's a very simple way to get back home. Integrity Idleberry, there's transportation aplenty for you.
I mean, the kids are going home right now anyway.
Yes. My question is there any final business to attend to on campus before you leave?
I might want to say, let Delnus know where we're going, because we're about to go on a very dangerous planar mission, and I don't want to just fucking split without telling her.
Okay, by all means. And as for the other two of you?
I, Integrity, am going to pack my backpack, ready for an adventure, and on the front pocket, making sure that I put in the book that was surprisingly in my package from Troil, the Lem book that was just randomly there. I don't know who owns it.
Wonderful.
You own it now.
You own it. It's yours, Integrity.
Congratulations.
You place it into your backpack along with all your other adventuring supplies, 18 lengths of rope, 19 daggers, a bunch of... are you bringing any money with you? That's actually a good question.
They are the god of coin.
They are the god of coin?
Yeah. I'm going to bring part of it. I'm not going to bring... Let me look at my inventory.
Decent amount of coin at least.
Go with Is 100 gold pieces too much?
That's a plenty amount of money.
That's decent.
That's a nice amount of money.
It's a perfect amount of money.
It's a great amount of money.
It'll pay the entry fee.
You pack 100 gold pieces, you tuck it away in a secret, quiet, hidden spot of your backpack where it will be safe. Integrity Idleberry.
The person who has once been pickpocketed before.
Serenep, was there any final events that you need to take care of?
I think I set Virgil up with
Of course.
a
You put a bunch of food out for him.
Yep.
He's just massive. He's just this massive
Big
crystalline
boy.
hog.
He got so big. Just beautiful. I give him a kiss on the head.
Huge, immense.
Yeah.
Approaching the size of your bed, frankly. Just very
Yeah.
large. Getting a bit too big. Sarah, you praise this hedgehog and you think, can he even fit outside the door now? And I think you would find the answer to that is probably no.
Mm.
Without magical aid.
I mean, we're in a magic school. I
We
can figure that
can't
out. It's fine.
reduce. Not right now. Wait a second.
I have to learn reduce. God damn it. Okay, fine.
Yeah. So you can put out food for him. You can also pack your own bag of things, stocking the robes with plenty of stuff before heading out to meet back up with Integrity Idleberry.
I want to
Mira
bring the
Marchand.
book with me.
Oh, you want to bring the spell book that Winslow had acquired at Artis's home. Yes,
I want that to be
the one that Doss had given to you.
Yeah.
Yes, you can pack that soundly. There's a spellbook shaped hole, or pocket, I should say, in your robe. It fits in like a dream, Serenep the Cinderman. And you can wave goodbye to your wonderful pet and go back and meet up with your cousin. Still in your head, Bertram and Olivia Cinderman. They still exist. They're still there in your brain. Mira Marchand, you wanted to seek out and talk to your girlfriend.
Yes.
I think that as you very quickly look around campus, look around your immediate surroundings when you are exiting in this greenhouse area, you see this huge line of people waiting to get into the sorry. You see this huge line of people waiting to get into the Hall of Voyages. You can walk past them very quickly. As you are approaching the necromancy building, the necromancy department, generally the area around which you would find Delnis loitering,
Her
typically
habitat.
in her habitat, her natural habitat. You can find her. She's sitting on a bench, regarding this, looking at the archives. I guess she looks as though she is sitting, having like a quick lunch. She looks like she's been studying. She has some a textbook out on her knees, and she's just eating quickly while she continues to read. She's wearing still, as she always does, all black, some more tight fitting button up shirt and some weird very easily cleanable pants, and you can walk up to her as she does this. Mira, as you walk up to her, the vision of your girlfriend Delnis Raithrin from the other day, from when you had fought Henrietta Hedrick, the Our Lady of the Deep, and she had used her necromantic magics, that drawn tightness of the skin, the thinning of her hair, the kind of black veins around her eyes, those visions creep into your head, and you see your girlfriend. You see Delnis sitting here. She looks all to the world, completely healthy, and with it.
Hey.
She stops eating for a second, and she goes, "Hi, how can are you doing okay? What can I help you with? You weren't at your dorm when I stopped by an hour ago."
Yeah, we were in a different plane. I wanted to give you a heads up that we are gonna go look for Winsler. And he's in the plane
Do
of
you
Lem.
need help?
I think we'll be okay. We're gonna go. There is apparently someone in Integrity's hometown who can help us, and then we're gonna travel there, and we should be all right. But I wanted to let you know so that you knew what was going on.
Okay. And she's kind of struggling for a moment to find words or what thoughts she wants to have, and she goes, is there a way that we is it really right to go so, I know that you want your friend back, but is it right to go so quickly after something happens? What if something happens to the three of you when you're away and there's no way to reach you?
Yeah. I was worried about that too. That liar you gave me does have a spell to go to another plane, so if things get really bad, we might have an exit strategy, at least temporarily, because of you.
Keep the liar with you. Keep the liar
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah. I didn't get to say it properly when everything was happening because it was after, but I did want to say thank you for just helping us out in that fight.
She smiles. I like against her worry, it seems, Mira. She goes, "Oh, you're welcome. It felt nice to, I guess, stand by your side for once as like an equal instead of someone to be saved."
Always thought of you as an equal. But I really, really do appreciate your help. I've been thinking about stuff, and I don't want to fight, and we don't have to have a whole conversation about it. But with the way things are, is there anything?
No, what do you mean? What do you mean the way things are? Like the fact that the conversation last week is water under the bridge, right?
When I tried to heal you, that spell doesn't work on undead dullness, and you said that it was because you just cast that spell on yourself, and then I watched you heal yourself minutes later, and then suddenly you come back and you're more powerful. I'm not dumb, like, and we don't have to argue. We don't have to argue about it, but I want to be there for you.
Her face falls. Such a rapid change of emotion, Mira. The happiness of being praised, of being told thank you, to then being told, hey, you're lying to me. It's not a big deal, but you're lying to me. Her face falls, and she'll say, just keep the liar with you then.
I will. Is there anything that I can do now with things that you'll need help with, or things that I should know?
I don't need help with anything.
Okay. That's fine.
What I said to you was true. I wasn't strong enough to go all the way with it.
But you went part way? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was at the Lady of the Woods' request. It was a newly unearthed method. We tried it out. It seemed to be partially successful. I seemed to, at the very least, get a bit more of a hang of the magic that I study. There's nothing that I need your help with this. There's nothing that I want to ask your help with this.
Fair enough. But I am here for you. I know you don't need help, but I am.
She'll grab your hand
here.
And will say, I'm thankful for that. I don't need any help with right now, at least with the changes. But you, if anything starts to go badly, you'll be. I swear to you, Mira, I love you so much. You will be the first person to know.
Okay. We're gonna go now, but
Please stay safe.
We'll do everything we can. I'll miss you, and I will give her a kiss and rejoin my friends.
Absolutely. It's almost like she doesn't want to let go of your hand as you pull away from her.
The feeling is mutual.
Yeah. And you can rush to join your friends, lining up in the wait to get into the Hall of Voyages to transport yourselves back to your hometowns, presumably get a cart ride to Dry Falls. I think that we can end the episode there, as the three of you wait, a bit optimistic, in the long queue to get onto one of those teleportation circles. And we'll pick up next time in the city of Dry Falls. Carla, can you give us an outro, please?
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Trials and Trebuchets. Things are happening, and we hope you like it.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Don't forget.
Don't forget.
Don't forget to leave a rating or a review on our iTunes or wherever you listen to this podcast. It means a lot to us to hear what you think. And if you like us, there's Luke, there's Carla, there's Ben, there's Sarah, and there's Sam. And if you don't want to, or if it's not your vibes to, write a comment and put your name out there,
Yeah.
share us to your friends.
Yes,
Be
tell
like,
your
hey,
friends.
this podcast, it fucking slaps.
Tell your friends this podcast is a phenomenon you must observe.
Observe?
That'll get them to listen, right?
We also have a Twitter and Instagram at Trials and Trebs. Give us a follow and you can get updates on the shindigs that are happening with the podcast, such as the teaser or any cool art or any other announcements.
Yeah.
We also have a Discord, and you can find the link to our Discord down below, wherever you're listening to the podcast. You know, this has been a tough couple of weeks, and I think being grouped together with other people who listen to this podcast is very helpful in making you feel strong and brave and not crying at night.
Yeah. Crying because
like
Winsler's
me.
dead. Yeah.
Mm.
Right? But it's fine. You guys are going to get him back.
We have a Patreon
Yes.
where you can donate money to get access to things such as
Bloopers.
and you can also
Make
get-
student NPCs.
do NPCs and
Mhm.
even vote for any bonus episodes.
Yep.
And last but not the least, this sucks ass. And last but not the least, we also have the big letter M.
Oh.
It's
Merch.
merch. And where can they get this merch?
Trebmerch.com.
Dot
www.trebmerch.com.
You can get 6 stickers. You can get 6 shirts. And
That's
other 6 stuff in the future.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for listening this week. I hope you tune in for our wonderful hometown jaunt next week.
What a fun
until
time.
then, see you later.
Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.